Hello, angels. So, welcome to the first workshop of the Sacred Technology of Business. I'm actually here to introduce the workshop. I'm not actually live right now. I'm introducing it because we had some technical hiccups, so I had to edit the different pieces kind of together. But the whole workshop is here. It was amazing. It is amazing. And get your notebook out, get your water out, tea out, and I really hope that this serves you. There's some really, really juicy, powerful info in this session, and enjoy. Have a great session.
Yay, I'm excited and welcome for those of you who are on replay. And hopefully by the time you see this on replay, all the technology is good to go. Awesome. Marion's here. Hi. Allison says, yes, all fine. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I was like, right before going live, I was like, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to write notes. And then I went to just test the live video and it wasn't working. And I had to just like figure a bunch of stuff out. So I wasn't really able to do that. So I'm excited that we can actually just all ground together because I need to ground. Miriam says, looking great, all caps, amazing. Thanks so much. So exciting to see all of you. So many of you are finding me live. Okay. I'm really excited for today's workshop, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, because what I'm going to be sharing with you, I've never heard anywhere. This isn't things that I've just learned from other sort of workshops and courses that I've taken and repeating verbatim to you. This is what I'm sharing with you today is really from my own experience of running a business for the last 8 years while also walking a priestess path and really being committed to my soul mission. And so what I'm about to teach has come out of all of that experience, and I'm really intending that it really deeply serves you and hopefully get some wheels turning for you on how you can feel really aligned in your business and feel like you get to be all of you. Sarah's here, I love. Okay, Kenzie and Teresa and Fiorea and Aaliyah, amazing. Okay. So, like I said, I need to ground because I was just with the technology gremlins, and rather than meditating and being all chill, I was like being like, why is this working? So, yeah, let's just drop in with a short meditation, a short prayer together, and we will go from there. So, yeah, if you want to close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just allow yourself to arrive and just honoring your heart. I'm super excited that you're joining us and joining me. I feel very honored that you are spending your time, your valuable time, to sit with me today and hear my heart, and just really valuing and honoring your own heart for being so committed to your soul mission and for getting your sacred work out into the world, that you're here now with me. So just breathing in a bit of gratitude for yourself that you've shown up today. You could have been on Netflix, but you're here. Thank you. And we're calling in all of our higher selves now. So everyone live or on replay that's joining us, I call upon your higher self, including my own higher self. And let's just visualize and see our higher selves descending from above our crown chakras like a waterfall of starlight. And breathing in this waterfall of starlight through the crown, through the third eye, into the throat and the heart and the solar plexus, all the way down into the second chakra, light, the higher self, light filling your spinal column, and all the way down into your root chakra, really allowing the root chakra to expand with this higher self light. This is an area in most of our energy fields, energy bodies, that needs a lot of love and opening and tending right now. And allowing that light to move down your legs and your feet. And as we breathe in this higher self light, we call upon Archangel Michael to join us now, and please clear the energy in this sacred space. You can visualize a circle of, it's likely going to be hundreds of people in this circle. And Archangel Michael with his electric blue bordering on violet energy, just holding the space, clearing the energy. And we ask that this session is in alignment with divine will. And we set the intention that all of the energy that's raised here today, all of the energy that we're sharing today in our hearts, is of deep service to the evolution and to the liberation of all beings. So just visualize focusing all the energy from our hearts, just awakening the world and freeing all hearts and freeing all children and freeing humanity. And we also set the intention, I set the intention that this session today deeply serves your soul's mission, your reason for being here on this planet. To support this intention, I call upon Isis, beloved ascended master we know from ancient Egypt. I call upon Mother Mary. I call upon the frequency of the Black Panther. I call upon the Pleiadian archangels and the Syrian archangels, just asking that we all experience an activation today, that whatever you need to receive on a soul level, that you receive that in this session in a way that's really going to support your sacred business, your soul mission, and the levels of abundance that you allow yourself to receive, becoming higher, deeper, more expansive. Taking a deep breath in, just noticing if any of the mentors, the angels, the ascended masters comes forth to really be by your side today, specifically. And finally, just seeing yourself in golden rain shower light, aligning all of our hearts. And thank you, Mother Earth, for grounding us today, grounding this energy to serve all beings, including ourselves. So taking a deep breath in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes back to the space. All right, it's so good to see all of you here. Super, super grateful that you're here. So let's get right into it. I would like to have this sort of workshop be 45 minutes or under. Usually I go an hour, but I'm trying to be more succinct with what I am sharing. So today we are talking about, we're opening up this 3-part masterclass, and we're talking about how we can align our businesses with these sort of ancient priestess practices. So many of you probably are very familiar with who ancient priestesses are, but there's probably some of you who are potentially new to this idea of priestessing or the ancient priestesses. So I'll share a little bit about that so we're all sort of on the same page. The ancient priestesses, right, like priestess, priest. A priestess is a woman or a female identifying, being who has commit her life in service to the divine. So a priestess, again, is someone who's really commit her life in service to the divine and to the divine will. So that means that nothing is more important than her soul mission. No relationship, no attachment, nothing is more important than fulfilling her soul mission on the planet. Does that mean that she's always going to make perfect decisions or be fully aligned all the time? No. But it does mean that in her heart, to serve the divine will is overall the main intention of her life. Miriam's so funny. I am in my bath, ready for openings and downloads. Yes. All caps. I love it. So the ancient priestesses, and we can go so, there's so many lineages of priestesses. Some of you are, very connected to the Magdalena, or you love Isis, or, these different lineages that we can feel connected to. But the ancient priestesses were, serving in temples all around the world. A lot of us might know the temples of ancient Egypt or the temples of ancient Greece. There's temples all around the world, though, South America and Europe and Africa and everywhere. And, different priestesses would have different gifts and different trainings. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to look at sort of the template of how ancient temples would run. They would all run probably a little bit differently, but I'm just sharing sort of from my lensing and from my memories how it sort of worked. And then we're going to look at that and say, okay, how can I really organize and structure my business in this sacred ancient way? Because if you're here watching it's very, very likely that you were an ancient priestess, whether you remember or not, that you served in the temples, or potentially that you're like a fresh, beautiful new, starseed being who hasn't had super, a lot of lifetimes on this planet, but who has a lot of familiarity and soul knowingness around temples and how they work. Maybe your soul family or your ancestors were serving them. So before I go into that, about, okay, let's look at the ancient temples and then let's, really get inspired by them for our businesses. I just want to tune into, why is this even important? Like, why are we talking about this? Well, if you're anything like me, right, this sort of priestess energy, this starseed energy, this, you could call it light worker or shadow worker, where you're just really wanting your life to be in service to the divine and divine will. You look around the world and you're going, this isn't working for me or anybody. Let's create the new earth. Like, let's do this. And you also have gifts, and you're like, okay, I want to create a business from this. It's very likely that there can be some wobbling or some uncertainty around how you can be in alignment. Because traditionally, business has been a very patriarchal sort of entity and thing, where, we associate business with maybe manipulation or sort of salesy kind of gross, lazy marketing. Or we might associate business with what's wrong with the world, these massive corporations that only sort of care about profits in their business, cutting down trees or destroying indigenous land and culture, et cetera, right? So we have this understanding of business even subconsciously. And yet, if we're priestesses or we're starseeds and we're light workers and we want to serve the world and we want to get into business, then there needs to be some healing there, or a new perspective and a new paradigm. Without this healing, without this awareness that, oh, in my subconscious at least, or in my consciousness, there's going to be some rub around businesses and some distrust around business and money, without the healing, a few things can happen. One of two things usually happens. So either you get into this work, you're like, cool, I'm going to start a business. And you either go, I've seen this in many, many clients, many people, you either go in the hyper masculine way of like, okay, I got these gifts, I got these skills, now let's learn how to put them in business. And then it's all about business trainings, numbers, the hustle. You kind of can get lost in that trajectory, in that momentum of the old paradigm of business, where it's really about how much money am I going to make this month? And there's nothing wrong with having money goals. We love that. But I'm talking about when that's like your highest sort of goal, and that's really what you're working towards all the time. That's when it can be, an issue. Misty says, love all the feathers, thanks. And you might have experienced that, or you might see that online when people are very much in this like hustle, hustle, hustle sort of mentality. And if you're a priestess, if you're really on a soul mission and you're meant to do that, that's going to feel off to you. So maybe you've gotten into it and you're like, oh, whoops, that's not actually the way I want to go. Or what can also happen is women, we can really like, I don't want to get into business. I don't want to do it, or I want to do it, but I'm super resistant. And you end up not actually just going for it, not sharing your gifts, not creating that program, because of, this resistance to this patriarchal notion of business. So what I want to talk to you about today is creating a new paradigm of business, and looking at business like it's a sacred technology that's in service to helping our soul missions really, really, be strong on the planet. So I don't know if I just went offline. My video just like stopped. So if you can tell me if anybody's still here with us, that if you can still see me. I can see that Allison says so true. So if you can still see me and hear me when I'm saying this, before we really get into it, let me know. And if the video just went off for me and you can still see me, then that's no problem. I'll just wait until I can kind of get some of your comments to see If you can stop, I'm hoping you can. Okay, Sarah says, I see you, sister. Okay, great. So we're just entering the black womb because my video just went black and I don't need to see myself. Great, awesome. All right, so that's fun. We get into this new paradigm business and then everything goes black for me because we're entering the black womb. or we're using business as a sacred technology. So that's why I am teaching you today how I see my business as a temple so we can create this new paradigm of business. Thanks so much, everyone, for saying that you can see me. Great. Love it. So let's go back to the ancient priestesses because like that's us. Like, you know, we really are the ancient priestesses. We are the starseeds. We are the ones who are like, we are the healers. We are the activators. So obviously it makes sense that we can get inspired by the ancient templates that have come before us. So all right. So in your business in your temple, you can think about like, do you have multiple layers and levels of initiation? And also, can you let me know, sorry, just to pause, if you can hear me okay? Because my phone is like a little bit far away from myself. I might bring it a little bit closer just to just to make sure that round two we're gonna get to be heard okay. Just 1 second while I set this up a little bit better. Okay. Thanks everyone for finding me again. You guys are so great. Okay, so yeah, we have our layers, levels of initiation. So you might go, okay, well, you know, I have my Facebook group, and that's kind of the public zone. Thanks, Bianca, for letting me know you can see, and Allison. And you can think about, like, for some people, they only want to have like one or two programs that they offer. I really appreciate all your comments. Thank you. So yeah, they might have one or two programs that you offer. Maybe that sounds really good for you. In a business coaching program I'm in right now, she sort of teaches, our mentor teaches, you know, just to focus on one program and do it really well and over again. That might work for you, but that might not. For me, I would be so bored if I only had one program coming out. Because they're so right. Like, well, in my inner temple, we've got whales and we got dolphins and we got like sacred business priestessing. Like, there's a lot in my soul that I want to share. So I have so many different, like, the offerings that I've had like Temple of the Rose came out last year. That was a Magdalene Isis initiation journey. We've had, you know, Energetics of Sacred Business, where we went through the chakras and activated them for abundance and alignment for business. Dolphin business, the Priestess's Guide to Manifesting Money. What else? There's been a lot. That's just in the last year. Sarah says, me too, I love multiple offers. Caitlin says, I'm unpacking, but looking and sounding great. Cool. Love it. So you can, again, think about that. And again, the priestesses what they didn't do is they didn't like run outside of the temple, like freaking out, being like, there's not enough initiates in the temple. And just being like, guys, do you want to come to my temple? It's really fun. It's really cool. It doesn't even cost that much. Like, come to my temple. You know, like that's silly. Like, they were very embodied and grounded in their trust. And they recognized their worth. They recognized that it was a privilege and an honor to be initiated in the temple. Right? So they're sitting in those temples going, okay, we're going through our own initiations inside of this temple. And we know that this is a powerful place to be. It's not for everyone. But if you're here, it's going to be potent. It's going to change your life. And you're going to be able to be of deep service to the divine in these higher and higher ways, right? So this is sort of to counteract that energy of I gotta get people in and I gotta find people and where are they, and this sort of chasing energy for your clients. When we're working with the divine feminine energies, we're more in this place where we're magnetizing. Does that mean that you don't work with your sacred masculine and your strategies to make sure that people know about you? No, the difference here is that in the ancient temples, they were established, well known, and well respected for hundreds of years or even thousands. So the difference here is that everybody for miles and miles and miles and miles would have likely known about these temples. And so again, you know, the difference for you is when you sort of really anchor in your temple,
you don't have hundreds of years of notoriety, beautiful notoriety to just attract people. And so there is that level of sacred masculine energy where you got to go out and you got to educate the public and say, this is what the temple is about. This is what I offer. This is what you can sort of expect to have happen to you if you enter. This is sort of what we do. But, there's that education and that service there, which is a different energy than just flailing around going like, oh my God, I need more, the temple's not enough. And this is one of the biggest initiations in sacred business, is always coming back to, you're going to see it in yourself if you haven't already, when you're like, oh, I need more people signing up, I need more money, I don't feel good enough, I want to be validated, I want people to care about what I do. What strategy do I need to know to have that happen? You can see that that's wonky, that's out of alignment, that's out of balance in the way that the ancient priestesses would work. It's more about, well, I know that I'm of service and I have something unique and important to share with the world. As a priestess, you need to do the deeper inner work where there's going to be enough of a level of self-love and valuing and honoring yourself and seeing yourself as worthy, that you know that what you offer is powerful and important and beautiful, so that you can go out and you can educate people through social media posts, through emails, through videos like this, and you can share your great work. And when I offer Divine Feminine Business and by the end of this session and tell you about it, what my intention is like, I want as many people to sign up for this as I want everybody to get excited about it. It's like, no, like Divine Feminine Business, there's only 14 spots and this is the deepest place in my temple, right? So I want to share it, and hopefully I'll share it in a way that really shares the frequency of it. But I really want to sit with Divine Feminine Business and sit with the energy of knowing its value and its power, and not sort of undermining it or undervaluing it by trying to go out and just kind of convince people that they really should come in. That's not how the temples would work. If you were at this sort of level of your journey, that level of initiation was right for you, then you would be admitted and magnetized to it, and that would happen. Miriam says, is the sacred business course you are taking about still available? Talking about, are you talking about Divine Feminine in Business? What I'm speaking about right now, in which case the doors just opened. If you're asking about the business coaching program that I'm in right now, it's very different. It's very different. It's a little bit more like sacred masculine strategy, which I think I probably needed a little bit of more of a balance into. And yes, we're kind of through it. So here's where the money comes in. The money comes in because the priestesses, there was always, if you were going to go through an initiation, there's always something that you had to give or you had to let go of. It could have been, like a chicken, or it could have been, gold or whatever. But a lot of the time the temples were actually supported by the communities, because the communities really valued them. And you would have committed. Maybe you would have cut your hair. Maybe you would have let go of fear. Maybe you would have made a deep dedication. Maybe you would have committed to living at the temple. Like, you would, in order to go through the levels of initiation, you had to either give something or give up something, or both. So that's why there's a price point on the levels of initiation that you might see in my business or someone else's sacred business and in your business. Because there needs to be an exchange. It's important. You can't just have people coming from the public, coming into the temple going, I don't really feel like giving anything. I just want to check this out. What's going on, coming in? It would totally disrupt the coherence and the vibration of the temple. Because once you're coming into the temple, you are valuing it and you are giving something valuable, or really letting go of something that you're attached to, so that you can be there. And there's a gatekeeper there preparing you, right? So that's why a lot of my, if not actually all of my journeys, start with an opening ceremony. We start with an opening ceremony and we end with a closing ceremony. to really open the field and to allow that coherence and those energies to be set. So, yes. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about that? Let me see what time it is. I honestly could talk about this for so much longer, but that's why I have an 8-month journey for it. Like, we could be here for another 2 hours, but. And, just while some questions are coming in, I can share that, I would recommend, if this feels right for you, you're like, all right, my business is a temple. Have a ceremony. When Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon became Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon, before it was Angel Coaching with Beth Katherine Facebook group and just my name, Beth Katherine. And when I realized, actually, I want this to be a temple. We actually had a Facebook Live ceremony in the group to really anchor Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon is a dedicated temple of Isis and, Archangel Michael. At the time it was really Isis, but right now Isis and Archangel Michael and the oceans and the whales, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene are really like the energetic pillars, along with my higher self and your higher selves of the temple. So I had a ceremony, and you can have a ceremony behind the scenes as well if you're just starting. I have lots of ceremonies for my business. I have a ceremony to begin every single offering that I have, to really invite the souls in. I want to tell you so much more, but if you're interested, Divine Feminine Business might be right for you. I'm going to answer some questions and then share a little bit more about Divine Feminine Business. Misty says, I have many ideas for offers, have to figure out which are most consistent with my codes and what to value them at. That's a great point. And for my offers at this point, I only really offer things that sort of come to me from a deep place. It's like I feel them downloaded in a different way. I'm very creative. My mind has a lot of ideas. I could come up with 1,000,001 ideas for courses that could be cool, but I don't pursue ideas from the mind. I only create offerings that come to me. Maybe Archangel Michael came to me, right? Archangel Michael came to me recently in meditation, and he was like, it's time, you've got to offer this journey. And I think it's just going to be called Archangel Michael. And he told me when it was going to, come out. It's like end of September, start of October. It's time. It's just going to be like a 4 or 5 week sort of deep dive with working with Archangel Michael. Sometimes I'll be walking in nature and I'll just feel an idea drop in and I'm like, that's it. So I really like to just really ask my higher self, how would you have me serve? So yeah, it's a process. It's not something that you can really force, but it is something that you can ask for and tune in for a lot. Janet says, wow, I can now see how I've allowed people to come in and disrupt my temple's energy. Totally. This is why we want to have the boundaries. This is why we want to have the price points. This is why yes. We want to have those different layers, those different levels. Okay, so I'd love to share a little bit about Divine Feminine Business with you. It would have been easier if I was on my computer so I could just share the link with you. Let me just see if I can comment. Let me see if I can go into the Facebook group. Why don't I just tell you about it for a second and then I'll try to share the link with you. When you get the link, I really want you to go on the page, because it's like the most beautiful page I've ever created in my life, I think, and I love it so much. So I just want to show it to you because I'm proud of it. But there's a lot of beautiful energy. So Divine Feminine Business. So it's an 8-month journey. This is my 3rd time launching it, and this is the deepest. Wow, I've up-leveled Divine Feminine Business like crazy for this year. It's such a deep dive. I'm so excited about it. It's not for everybody, and there's only 14 spots, but it might be right for you if you're here and watching this and interested in this. This is basically a journey where you're going to learn sacred masculine strategic, strategies. You're going to learn, we're going to learn about social media marketing. We're going to learn about branding. We're going to learn about all these actual structural pieces that you want to have in place for your business to market it. But we're going to learn about it through this lensing of the Divine Feminine and allowing all of it to be sacred, which is something that really you don't yet see a ton of. Let me just read what Sarah says. How would you go about shifting the energy of a current offer from that hustle, masculine, patriarchal to deep, feminine temple vibes and sacred service? I feel drawn to do a ceremony and actually drop in to clear the space. I'm so grateful for the space right now. Yeah, I would, like you said, I would do a ceremony if I feel. So I had, done something recently and offered something recently where I just recognized, like, at the end of it, I was like, I've changed, and this just, I wasn't super happy with like in all the energy of it, of what I did. And I did a ceremony to just like burn that away and to forgive myself. You're gonna have to do this all the time on this path. You are going to fall out of alignment on this path often. So it's about forgiving yourself. And I did like a fire burning ceremony at my sacred tree. I have this very special, sacred, ancient tree that I go to. And I did a fire burning ceremony. I said, okay, this is what I recognize that I didn't like. This is what I recognize that I did. I'm going to forgive myself, and I burn this and I let go. And then I wrote down what energies I was actually calling in. So you can definitely work with ceremony and work with the elements to really help you. But back to Divine Feminine Business. So it's an 8-month journey. Probably, if this is right for you, you might be already feeling just really interested in it. There's an application process. So this is actually my first journey where you can't just go on the link that I'll share with you somehow soon, and just sign up. You actually have to apply, and then we'll get to talk for 30 minutes and just see for this 8-month journey, is this going to be right for you? And basically what we're going to be doing in that journey is we are going to be helping you set up your flagship program and potentially a second offering, right? So we're going to be in those temple spaces and those levels of initiations. I'm actually going to be helping you to create not one but 2 levels of initiation for your business temple, for your temple. We're using business as a sacred technology for our temple work, for our priestessing work, for our sacred work. So I'm actually going to be helping you over the course of 8 months to create 2 of those levels of initiations. So you're going to have a full-fledged business at the end of the 8 months. And if you've already started your business, this offer is for you if you're making on average less than $3,000 a month in your business. So if you've also already started your business, but you haven't seen a ton of traction, you're, still in that, like, those initial stages, and you're not really sure, how to really get to that next level, this is also for you. Allison says, my membership group is on a state of transition, not sure how to handle it. Yeah, we're always going to be growing, and I totally feel you. Ceremony and meditation is my go-to. I don't really know what else to tell you about Divine Feminine Business because it's all on the page, and I'm really proud of the page. So I think I'm going to just see if I can link that over to you, and I'll just let you feel it and just see if you want to join me for 8 months. We've got, there's definitely a couple weeks before the doors close, so you've got time to just really vibe out on if you'd be served by going into a deep dive right now. But I'm really excited. Sarah says, is this round of Divine Feminine different? Divine Feminine Business different from the very first round that I was in? Yes, it is very different. Although I've always loved Divine Feminine Business. How I used to offer it was every 2 weeks we would do a live. And what I've recognized recently with more sacred masculine sort of activation is I wanted journal prompts. I wanted a homework, like really a homework. I wanted more structure. So actually for this round, it's kind of an interesting structure. If you guys want to know, I'll tell you. So we're going to be doing, every month, we'll be doing one live ceremony. It'll be probably on or around the full moon. That will be like the priestess part. That's like where we dive into energetics. That's where we dive into womb energetics, the receptivity of the womb. That's where we're going to dive into aura expansion, expanding our aura, alignment with the divine. We're going to connect you with your soul codes. And that's going to be really the priestess part of it. There's going to be a week in the month where you get very sacred, masculine, strategic homework. Sarah says, I'm definitely feeling pulled toward this offering. I would love to work with you, Sarah. That would be amazing. Janet says, me too, so inspiring. Just, guys, apply. I'm going to get the link for you here. I'm going to just drop the link right now. If you're interested, go see the page and just apply to work with me. The really fun thing about the application process, okay, it should be coming up, is you can just apply and then we'll just chat about it in a 30-minute call. So you get spaciousness and time to just really feel into. Once you apply, you'll learn more about the investment. I'm not sharing about the investment right up front because I don't want you making this decision from your mind going like, I want this to be completely from your heart. Once you apply, you'll know the investment. Once we chat, you'll know the investment. Um, and okay, so back to how it works. So, and then once right, we talked about the priestess ceremonies. Then once a month, you'll also have the more strategic masculine teachings that come out. That's pre-recorded. That's going to be with the journal prompts and the homework. That's going to be on a site called Thinkific that you can just mark that you've completed it. Once a month, there's also going to be a little bit more pre-recorded content as well. That's going to be a mix between energy and sacred masculine teachings. And then once a month, we're going to do a live coaching call where we all get together and you get laser coaching for about 10 to 15 minutes for the session. You also get private coaching with me. You get 3 one-on-one sessions with me. You also get 2 amazing mentors, guest mentors. If you know them, Eden Amadora from the 13 Moon Mystery School and Aquazina Hart, really amazing, amazing sisters who are going to help to guest mentor you throughout the program. So that's actually how it's going to be for the first 2 months. Every week there's going to be content, but then we're going to have a sacred pause. So there's 2 weeks where nothing is going to go out. There's 2 or potentially 3 sacred pauses built into this. This is divine feminine business. The journey is 8 months for a reason, because the divine feminine operates from a slower energy, but in a way that she's so in touch with the womb and the stillness that it's super powerful. So I find with trainings that I've done in the past, it's too fast. It's too much, it's too fast. And so this journey is designed, we're going to have the sacred pauses. I'm going to be really listening to what we need. If I need to adjust when we have the sacred pauses or for how long they are, like I'm going to be so devoted. This is an intimate circle. And if you want to work with me, this is like the highest level that you can work with me at. I will be super devoted to your growth. Sarah says, holy goddess, those women are amazing. Yeah, if you know them, they're so amazing. They both agreed to play with us. And then, so for the first sort of 4 or 5 months, we're just going to be learning the basics, the energetic basics, the strategic basics of your business. And then for those next 3 months, that's where I'm going to hold you. Now that you know all the things and you're going to do all the things, I'm not going to be like, okay, bye. As you're launching, as you're creating your program, you're going to get coaching, you're going to get more ceremony, you're going to get more support, you're going to get your questions answered in the Facebook group, but there will be probably less frequency. Like we might do content every 2 weeks. We'll feel into it. The last 3 months is still just like to be determined as I listen into what is needed. Allison says, I love the sound of this. Yeah, it's so exciting. So go ahead if you want and check out the page. I linked it, and I'll be talking to you a lot more about this journey over the next few weeks. But we're also going to do another live workshop next week, a week from now, with lots more free content for you. So next week we're really going to be talking about money. Because I know that is the point. We're like, well, a lot of us, like, we believe in our gifts to a certain extent. We want to share them, but money is what trips us up most of the time. We're going to be talking about how we can unplug our sort of umbilical cords and our root chakras from the system, from this patriarchal, fucked up system, and we're going to be unplugging them, and we're going to be plugging them into the Great Mother, into Mother Earth, into source energy, and we're going to be remembering that that's where our abundance comes from. This is a critical teaching, and I'll just get into it next week with you. I have so much to share. This is why I can't do a 45-minute workshop. Look, we're at an hour now. Classic Beth. Too much to say. Okay, so much love for you. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, we'll see you in the Facebook group. And if you have any questions, come and let me know. And let me know how these ideas sort of unfold for you over the next, days, weeks, months. And if you're applying these and if you're having new insights. Super excited to see them. So I'm just sending you blessings. May Archangel Michael bless you and activate you. May Archangel Michael support your life's mission, your soul's mission. May you know that you're more than cut out for this. May you know how powerful you are, how special you are, and how needed you are right now on this planet. It's time for us to rise up. Thank you. And Sarah says, thank you, you're welcome. And I'm gonna go have fun seeing if I can edit this to be one streamlined video for the replay people. It's gonna be fun. All right. Oh, I love you guys. I love doing these lives. Everyone's so awesome. Amber's here. Hi. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Teresa says thank you. Kenzie says thank you. And if you're on replay, I will come and watch. I won't watch the comments. I'll read the comments. So be sure to let me know how you're feeling. All right. Lots of love. Bye.